For hundreds of years, making art meant wrestling with physical limits. Bringing a mental image into the world required hundreds of hours of manual labor. Today, algorithms render complex worlds in a fraction of a second. Even as we moved to computers, the software remained entirely passive. Programs like nonlinear editors, the digital workspaces where video clips are manually arranged on a timeline, waited for humans to execute every technical step. You had to drag, drop, and trim every frame by hand. This reliance on manual labor forced teams into a strict sequence. Work flowed in one direction, starting with a brief, moving through strategy, then creative, into production, and finally out to launch. Every step was a potential bottleneck loaded with approvals. Because the process was slow and expensive, countless risky concepts ended up in a virtual drawer. If a concept was difficult to visualize quickly, it was often abandoned before a client ever saw it. Prototyping bold ideas simply cost too much money. We spent decades building software that perfected the technical execution of art. In the process, those tools placed a hard speed limit on the scale of human imagination. That speed limit disappeared as a wave of generative AI tools arrived to automate the tedious parts of the process. This solved the historical speed bottleneck by moving creation directly into the digital box. But jumping into this new workflow revealed a different kind of friction. To actually make something, creators now bounce between isolated applications, one for generating text, another for voiceovers, a third for music, and a fourth for video. Because these tools rarely communicate, creators spend their time exporting, converting, and uploading files across disjointed platforms. The creative momentum dies in the file transfers. The algorithm removed the manual labor of rendering pixels, but the architecture of how we access it is broken. We traded a mechanical bottleneck for a paralyzing, fragmented software ecosystem. To fix this, we have to look at how we interact with our tools. A traditional application gives you a blank canvas and waits for instructions. An intelligent system acts as a collaborator, figuring out the how so you can focus on the what. When tools think with you, the old linear sequence becomes a continuous loop of ideation, generation, and refinement. You test an idea and adjust in real time. Because you aren't waiting, the distance between what if and reality shrinks from weeks to minutes. This velocity allows a single person sitting at a laptop to output the same volume of material as a traditional multi-person production house. The barriers to entry have fallen. Your primary constraint is no longer the production budget or technical talent. The only thing dictating your output now is the speed of human decision-making. It is easy to look at this endless content generation and worry about human obsolescence. But algorithms are just engines of volume. They can spit out 1,000 different variations of a single scene in seconds, but they lack the ability to tell you which one will move an audience. This environment rewards the AI auteur, a creator whose value is derived from taste, vision, and judgment, rather than technical software mastery. As this 2026 trend report shows, technical skill is now just table stakes. The true competitive advantage belongs to individuals who provide sharp strategic direction and elevate machine output with their own distinct taste. The auteur starts with a vivid internal vision, a state sometimes called hyperphantasia. They use that clarity to curate and direct the machine's outputs, shaping raw digital noise into a cohesive, intentional narrative. When a machine can render anything you ask for in seconds, the tool itself stops being the differentiator. The only thing separating good work from great work is the human taste driving the prompt. To operate at this new speed, the AI auteur needs an environment built for velocity. They cannot afford to lose momentum dragging files across a dozen separate browser tabs. Talonsight provides the infrastructure for cross-domain creativity, integrating disconnected tools into a single environment. Using terminals, a creator composes audio in Sonic Genesis and generates visuals in Talon Motion. Outputs flow into a master POW ledger, a cryptographic system tracking the lineage of every artifact. This transforms fragmented AI generation into a synchronized, trackable, and unified production engine. Stripping away the mechanical friction of production returns the act of creation to its most direct, emotional form. Success in this new landscape belongs to the creators who maintain a unified vision across every generated frame. Technical software memorization has been replaced by the power of specific, intentional direction. Artificial intelligence provides the underlying mesh of code and compute to support human intent. It absorbs all the repetitive labor of production, enabling individual imagination to reach the screen with professional-grade complexity.